and welcome to the Five-Side Podcast. It's a full complement again. Um, Billy Kirkpatrick, we can actually see him this week.
Oh, hello, good evening.
Ross Dewar,
Hello.
Matthew Thompson,
Evening, folks.
and Craig Gregor.
Hello.
Everyone had a good weekend, yeah?
Yep.
Great, yeah,
Fabulous.
great, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, it was good.
Such a good
Matt-
weekend.
Matt sounds really happy considering his team won and his bitter rivals lost, but
That's true.
meant to sound happier, Matt.
Kelly did lose, so
Kelly did.
Yeah. And he apparently won, so yeah, we'll go with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
Yeah, we'll just go right into it, and we'll go straight for Celtic St Johnstone League Cup semi final on Saturday evening. It was,
Mm-hmm.
and I take it everyone has seen the game in some way, shape, or form. No,
yeah,
Billy
yeah,
hasn't.
I have.
The goal. What a finish.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think many sort of Celtic fans or anyone expected a comfortable win by like multiple goals. Really,
What did Ferg predict?
I think it was like 8
doesn't
0 or
matter.
something. Yeah, 8-0 is what I predicted.
See, not many people
but
predicted it.
I do
Matt
that. I've
predicted
done that
4-0, so-
multiple times.
I just said the 4. I expected a close one.
But St Johnstone, well, last season obviously winning both cups, were proven to be difficult in in these competitions. And my first analysis of St Johnstone over the day was I don't remember them doing anything. I don't know whether they were set up for a 0-0 draw and hope for penalties or something. I just don't know.
I think they were quite well. They were quite well organised. They definitely set up to try and obviously deter Celtic, but I'm not sure if it was perhaps a way to play. I know. I get what he was trying to do, trying to mitigate Celtic playing well, but Celtic still had plenty of chances regardless of how he set up.
Well, yeah, in the first half, it was fairly like heavy one-way traffic in terms of Celtic attacking. It would have been nice if we could have had a goal come off the back of some of it. It was some really like sort of just nice link-up play and passing play, and final balls weren't the best really. But St Johnstone they did pack the box when Celtic were in and around it, and did make life incredibly difficult for anyone challenging for headers or shots even.
Yeah, I don't think anyone expected St Johnstone to go out and chase the game. It was always going to be a case of seeing if Celtic can actually break them down. And for a long time, it kind of looked as if we weren't going to, or we're struggling to.
Yeah, it was just one of those days where Celtic had to play their game and just be patient, because it's a cup game, so it's not like at 90 minutes. It's 90 minutes and you share points. It's like at 90 minutes you go on, then another half hour, and then penalties if need be. So a team has to try and make a breakthrough at some point.
The thing is, Celtic scored obviously from a mistake as well, which
I wouldn't so much call it a mistake. I think it's obviously St Johnstone had to go back to the keeper, and then Kyogo presses the keeper really high, forcing him into trying to make a long kick. It's not the greatest clearing kick that I've seen from a goalkeeper, and again, it's Celtic's pressing play. I think we've said it multiple times that it wins in possession and gets them goals. It got us a goal against was it Ferencváros? It goes a goal away from home. And that's like Jota just doing it really well. High press, and he jumps, he wins the ball, and then takes it on, takes the man on down to the fucking down the line. He takes the man, and then he crosses it in. And I think at that point it seemed like the St Johnstone defenders got a bit sort of, I don't know,
flustered.
Yeah, they did. None of them seemed to know what they were doing at that point. There was a half attempt at a sort of clearance, and it falls to James Forrest after only being on the pitch for a few minutes. And he's never missing from that close. It's on his favourite fruit. It's on his favourite foot. He's just.
He's actually, in my opinion, obviously, regular listeners know I'm a man who enjoys the other team in Glasgow. He's probably one of the most underrated players Celtic have. Like, he just does it in big games, time after time.
And it was a massive boost. I saw his name on the bench before the game started, and I said that's huge to have him on the bench because the impact he can make is incredible. And I did say when he came on, I said he's either going to score or create something here. When I was in the pub, and he did. He scored, and he wheels away in celebration. You know, he's loving it, and fair play to him. Yeah, it was the only goal of the game. I think Celtic had quite a few chances though. They had 16 attempts, but only 3 on target. But it just shows that St Johnstone were forcing them into sort of adventurous ones or heading from cross balls. Yep. I'll give a wee shout out to Jota, who was unbelievable again, in my opinion.
Do you mean George Michael?
Yeah, very good point.
What's that, 12 contributions since he signed in August? Or something like that, I remember reading.
Yeah, and even outside of contributions, his actual, just his movement, the skill moves he does. Like, there's not many players in our league that would try some of the things that he tries, but fair play to him, and his link up with Kyogo is really nice, and yeah, he's gelled really well with the squad since he's came in. And my last shout out would go to Big Near Beaton, who's been, obviously he's had his critics over the years, but the last few seasons having to play centre half, and he's again had to come in for Rogic because he's injured. So, and he's made a decent impact.
Yeah, I think having him in midfield allows like McGregor to be more creative and like actually build the play, which is what Celtic need to do.
Also, I really like McGregor in that deeper position, but he's not a sort of sitting midfielder. He's definitely sort of box to box. He likes sort of coming up, whereas Near Beaton will happily sort of sit in front of a back four. Obviously, he likes a good sort of wee advancement up into the more attacking midfield areas and a wee run with the ball, but
actually, I mean, we spoke about it in depth last year, how he's far better suited Beaton playing as like a number 6 in front of the back four than playing as a centre half.
He's just not a centre half.
Nah, obviously he had some decent games at centre half.
He just had some other horror shows to go alongside
it.
Really bad ones.
But he's looked fairly solid in midfield. Obviously having to play because the lack of options really there. But I've been impressed with him, and I can't see a reason really to drop him at the moment.
No. Yeah. I'd agree with that.
And I think reports are suggesting that Tom Rogic will be or is expecting to be available for. What day are we playing? Thursday evening. Him and Carl Starfelt are both expected to be eligible again to play. So
that's a shame.
Such a shame. But again, there's no reason for either of them to go straight back into the starting lineup because they've been covered fairly well, in my opinion.
Right. Is it time to laugh at Drew yet?
Yeah, I have if you want. Fast forward to Sunday afternoon. Picture has seen the Ibrox has been turned orange by the Rangers fans. You know, they're celebrating their new manager being in the stands, and also the team are wanting to come out and impress the new manager.
Mm-hmm.
And they try really hard, but after 8 minutes, they just couldn't try any more, and they concede off a set piece in some of the most shambolic defending I've ever seen in my life.
No, what do you mean? I think
I do.
is the best thing to do from a corner.
I don't know. Obviously, Balogun's looking for the foul, but in this day and age, you just can't look for a foul. You just got to stay strong. He obviously does get his shirt pulled, but he got to play to the whistle.
Yeah, I think it would be. It's one of those ones where in our game, yes, Billy's making the VAR symbol. In the Scottish game,
the VAR would have changed. I think.
I don't think so either.
In the Scottish game, we don't have that. We don't have VAR, so there's no point talking about it.
Not yet.
There's lots of people that do like to bring it up. Oh, if we had VAR, yeah, but we don't. So just get over it already. We don't have that luxury, as you could say. But where was I going? Yeah, we don't have that, so we are just with the officials on the match day, and if the officials don't judge something to be.
Oh, I don't think it was a foul. My more point was they went down awful easily.
No, it's not a foul.
But again, if the referee doesn't blow his whistle, then the referee doesn't blow his whistle. There's no point complaining or crying about it. You just got to get back up and get on with it.
Even if it should be a foul, I still don't understand what Tavernier's doing. That's the worst part. Defending 101.
I don't know whether he's trying to play it back to the goalkeeper because it does come off the head of. I cannot remember who it comes off the head of.
It's the way someone shapes his chest, though.
He's playing a deliberate chest back to the goalie, which you do. One, you don't do when it's a set piece corner. Two, you don't do it when you don't know what's behind you. He doesn't even look behind him to see what's there.
Again, the goalie who looks like shambles. He's already made a decision that he's going to lie on the floor. So, I don't know. There's nothing else you can really complain about. Martin Boyle's just happens to be in the right place at the right time, and
you could probably Aribo shouldn't let Boyle get goal side of him so easily, but I don't think he's expecting what Tavernier's doing to be fair.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing in the sequence.
Boyle just keeps himself calm and chips it over old tomato face. So it's the story of the first goal. What was it? What was the second goal?
Second one was when
amateur hour. I think that's what it was.
Lovely.
Yeah, the one where Tavernier was even more amateur.
I don't know. At the time, I actually
really
felt that it was just a really good goal.
It
was a good finish and it's a good ball.
I don't think I can really blame Tavernier for not really tracking his runner, but it is in the left back position or the left centre half position more than the right.
Yeah,
back position.
Is in a centre half position.
So I don't know where the rest of these defenders are, but
I don't know what whether him and Goldson are talking to each other at this point. Don't know, because Tavernier seems to drop deeper, allowing Boyle the space to run in behind, which I thought was bizarre.
It's a lovely pass from this bit, though.
It was a really nice pass.
It's a good pass and a good turn. But it's all it is. It's one pass and one turn, and he's through and goal.
No, yeah,
it's amateur
that's what I'm saying about the defensive line. Really don't help themselves there by being so misshapen.
I do think McGregor could have probably got a hand to it. I think he was ever so slightly poor positioned.
It's a tough one. It's a decent finish.
Don't get me wrong, a good finish, but I feel that for a guy of his standards, it was ever so slightly poor.
I've seen him getting a fair amount of hate since then. A lot of people claiming that he is finished, even though a month ago he was the best keeper in the world.
I mean, obviously, Hibs have scored 3 goals from 3 shots, and Rangers gave them 2 of the goals. Like, you can't.
You could probably argue that the Rangers gave them 3 of the goals, to be fair.
Like, you can't expect in a cup semi-final to give away such shoddy goals. Like, you could be playing teams a couple leagues down and they'd still score the chances provided to them.
Well, some of them might. Some of them wouldn't score chances.
Not here.
I think that the next Hibs goal was my favourite one because in commentary I can't remember who it was, but someone said there's a bit more about Rangers here, and they're turning the screw a bit, and I think it was about 2 minutes later they did give away the penalty.
Stonewaller, I don't think anyone could really argue.
Well, there was a lot arguing in the studio in Premier Sports.
I think they got it spot on.
In terms of decision, it's a correct decision. It really the challenge just summed Rangers up that first half, clumsy, haphazard, and just blind.
I don't know if he's trying to make a challenge though. He just runs into him.
It's just smart from. I think it's smart from Boyle. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Boyle
he drops his shoulder nicely.
You give the match official the decision to make.
The correct one, so you can't really argue. Obviously, Rangers
first half hat-trick.
Rangers did have. I'll talk about Arfield's goal quickly. Nice enough, I guess. That was my analysis on that. I was just going to talk. Like, the biggest gripe about the entire game. Don't get me wrong, Rangers played poor.
Was it the Goldson miss?
No, it wasn't the Goldson miss. It was actually how horrible the subs were. The subs were actually.
You're
3-1 down.
You bring off
and you
for Ryan Jack.
No, the first one was Sakala on for Kent.
Kent, who I actually felt had points where he was quite lively. Morelos an absolute stinker, but yet remains on the pitch.
To be fair, they did have the Rangers Lotto man as one of the coaches. Maybe they just did what some folk do when putting lottery numbers on and just randomly pick things and just hope it goes for the best.
The next one was Hadji came on and Jack came on for Arfield and Aribo.
The Hadji for Arfield ones, that's a realistic.
Hadji made sense. I thought Hadji was going to be the first sub that came on.
Yeah.
In the day to sort of add a bit of creativity.
Defensive midfielder for an attacking player, it's a strange one.
I think if you're 3-1 down and you're chasing a goal and you end up bringing on all the defensive mids, I don't think it does any favours.
Yeah, and the next one, Calvin Bassey on for Balogun, I guess. I don't know which one was having to play centre half between Barisic and Bassey after that.
Bassey.
And then right on for Kamara, which also makes sense. They're chasing the game. They're trying to get something out of it. You bring on an attacking player, but I did notice that they did have John Lundstrom stripped and ready to go at one point during the sequence of subs.
Yeah, but then they changed it for Calvin Bassey, I think it was.
Changed their minds for Bassey, yeah.
To me, the subs were mental. I think that actually the team was wrong as well. Like, I know someone in particular in this podcast did not like Lundstrom at the beginning, but he'd been man of the match about 4 or 5 times this season, and it's a cup semi-final, and he's the type of guy who obviously he has a bit of grit about him. He should have really played.
I don't know if I can really fault the starting lineup from Rangers.
Yeah, I don't think their starting lineup was very wrong.
Really not, because obviously like their back line was all they could really choose.
The main one I would obviously, I'm sure a lot of people would probably agree at this point, is probably put Patterson in over Tavernier.
Tavernier's not been great.
I don't think you can drop your club captain for a semi-final. To be fair, like
no, that's the thing. You don't do that, but he's not been fantastic recently.
The problem for me with Rangers at the moment seems to be 2 things. One, the mentality of certain individuals, and 2, the attitude and application on the field of play. You know, I listened to Connor Goldson's interview after the game, and for a vice captain of Rangers to say what he said, I just about fell on the floor. I'm not even a Rangers fan. I just about fell on the floor.
What did they say?
Just said that the
Basically
game was
said
over
that,
at 3-1. What?
After they went to 3-0, they just realised the game was over, basically.
Yeah, because he did slip the tongue and he did say 3-0 and then he went, oh wait, 3-1 at half time.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it was just nice of them to pay homage to Steven Gerrard and by doing what he would have wanted and bottling a cup game before making the final.
He does like that.
It was fitting.
Steve.
Obviously, I don't know what's going to happen with Goldson. Obviously, we don't really have another centre half. Well, obviously, we've got Bassey could play centre half, but obviously a big European game coming up. He's not going to get dropped anyway, and I think that's why you can get away with such sort of reckless and I would say almost careless comments. Obviously, Gio coming in today. Today was his first training session, and obviously he wants a formation change. It'll be interesting to see. He's also voiced his opinion. He would like youngsters to play. It doesn't matter what age someone is. If they're good enough, they're going to get the opportunity to play.
I think he said
I'll believe it when I see it.
I think I heard him say in his press conference that he wants individuals, he wants players with a sort of a natural hunger, which I feel like might have been a little bit of a dig at Connor Goldson for saying that they felt they didn't have hunger or they were lacking hunger.
But like Gerrard said, they don't want to replace him. That's their problem.
I was about to say, he doesn't have options, and also Connor Goldson is one of Rangers' better defenders.
Yeah, but you've got no hunger.
Unless you want to try chucking like Bassey or John Lundstrom back into centre half.
Bassey is a natural centre half. That's where he's originally playing, but I don't. It's just too difficult of a game on Thursday night to probably drop Goldson, which is a conundrum.
I think in a way, although football fans are very fickle at points, I think Gio's hands are very much tied until January. You know, he's working with, in my opinion, an underperforming squad with an attitude problem. And how do you deliver the best out of players when they quickly don't want to play or don't want to perform to a certain level? That's a problem. I think genuinely, I don't know where Rangers will find the funds or the sources to find this, obviously given contractual and financial situations. I genuinely think they need about 5 players. About 5 players to get a kick up the arse.
5 players, like, at the end of the day, the squad's good enough to win more or less every game in the league, unless Celtic playing their best turn up. Like, really, that squad of players with a half-decent manager should be beating basically everyone else.
I think they do have enough players that you could say are hungry enough and have enough desire. Like, I'm sure like Patterson's going to be dying for a game. Sakala always looks lively and always looks hungry whenever he's playing.
You've got to obviously look at the picture. Obviously, financially, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I know there's quite a lot of media talk saying Aston Villa are going to try to get Goldson in January for a fee of, I think they quote, according to tabloids, around 1.7 to 2 million. Which to get
6 months left in his contract. I don't see it happening.
Yes, yeah.
Obviously, we'll see what happens. I know there's talks of people wanting Katic. Don't get me wrong, not terrible, but he's not going to solve the main issue of like having someone that can defend. Like he's not bad, but he's not the quality you need.
Yeah, I think Rangers think they do have to offload players in January to be able to bring new players in. It's just whether they have. The thing is, they have waited too long to get the best value for most of their players that they could have sold in the summer.
Because they'd said at the start of last summer, or the summer just past, that they needed to offset players to make up funds. Basically, I think Gerrard said that at the start of the transfer window, and then they didn't sell anyone.
I know Ross Wilson in his interview yesterday said Rangers are not looking to offload any players in January. But
of course they won't be, but at the end of the day,
they're not going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, look, all these players are for sale," because then.
But at the end of the day,
obviously the money missing has been already was already guaranteed to be covered.
But at the end of the day, do you hold on to Goldson to the end of the season and then lose him for nothing in the summer? Because by all accounts, it seems like he's not signing a new contract. Or do you try and get what you can in January if someone's interested?
I think if the offer comes,
you can get.
Yeah,
I think if the offer does come, then you take it. But I just don't know how much anyone's going to be willing to pay for a player that's arguably.
It's 1.5 million you can make. Out of an English club that's got a lot of money, that's probably not a lot for them to spend.
Yeah.
Because you either keep him and you've got a player that doesn't want to be there, or
it's not as if he's going to offer. You have to weigh out whether or not he's going to offer a big difference for that last 6 months.
Obviously,
probably not.
It seems like Celtic and Rangers are both going to go head to head to try and get John Souttar in a pre-contract when it comes up. But obviously, that wouldn't be till the next summer that they would get him in. So
true, you could buy him out of it, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean that's what Rangers obviously did with Glenn Kamara. What
50
grand was it they paid in the end? 50 grand to get after they get signing the pre-contract. Did they not do similar with Scott Wright? They signed a pre-contract.
They swapped McCrory as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, time will tell. Obviously, Gio's got a big. I never thought you'd say that at the start of the season, like considering how last season went, but got a massive improvements need to be made. I know that's quite remarkable considering they're 4 points clear, but they're a good 10, 11 points off the tally last year. If Rangers were anywhere near close to last year, they'd be miles away, and Ange would be under a lot more pressure, and everyone else would be under a lot more pressure, but they just haven't done it.
Yeah, I think it's perspective as well. Like from where you were last season. Like I think if you compare Celtic and Rangers both to where they were last season, as a Celtic fan, I didn't expect us to be 4 points off Rangers at this stage of the season. I expected us to almost be more than that, to be honest. I thought it would take longer to get this close. So there's obviously an element of Rangers fans now anticipating that standard every time they play.
I have to say, Ange's recruitments have been good.
Decent.
It'll be interesting to see what Rangers do. I think they're looking at a new head of analysis from, I believe, Royal Antwerp. But there's talks of that happening. It'll be interesting to obviously see.
To play centre half?
No. He finds centre halves and makes centre halves better.
Well, that's the next battle.
Obviously today, first training session, I did enjoy the video that I sent in the podcast chat of Big Roy saying skills for the circus.
Yeah, lead the tricks for the circus.
Actually, like it's something.
Is that because they're all clowns?
It's actually something that's like if you can get Kent playing back to, let's try not to be overly technical, I think would actually benefit him massively. But again, time will tell. We could talk about that subject for ages.
Yeah.
I think Steven Gerrard was, at some point, he was always going to leave Rangers. I think I've said this before. Obviously, the right offer came in for him, and I don't think anyone was going to convince him to stay at Rangers, really.
Yeah, even though he did look happy and unsettled.
When a Premier League job came up, he wasn't really going to have any complaints about it, and he wasn't going to hang around. Fair play, Rangers they've chosen a man. They've got their who they deem to be the right fit, and I suppose they'll just have to see how it goes.
I do think he's as close as a right fit as they were probably gonna get.
But like you said, he has got a fair bit of pressure. Like his next few games are
got a tough away
fairly
spell
key.
as well.
And there's some tough away games coming up in the next sort of month and a half for him as well.
Yeah.
But then again, everyone's got to play everyone, so
That's true.
I'm always insightful.
Mm-hmm.
Classic. Always knows what to say.
Yep. Quickly touch on the Dundee United Aberdeen game at the weekend, which sparked a fair bit of controversy post match on a dismissal, and I don't get it. At the end of the day.
Is this where I have to come in and make the extra? Okay, right.
So,
is about to call himself excellent here. He's about to call himself and the referee excellent.
No,
here. Come on.
I'm not. I'm gonna. Firstly, what I'm gonna say is that this is not the referee's fault. This is the law's fault. This is the law. The referee only applies the law. This isn't the referee's fault.
No, I still think it's the referee's fault.
So
he could have just went. Oh, I forgot about that.
Common sense has to prevail.
So the second caution is
thinking of the best way to talk a load of absolute.
No. I'm just trying to get it technically right so that I don't appear like a dafty. So the second caution is for what we call adopting an aggressive attitude or manner. Now, the reason why this second caution has been issued is because the Aberdeen player, after being shoved by the fan, and I totally understand that he's been shoved by the fan and he's provoked, he has then taken 2 or 3 steps back towards the fan in an aggressive manner, and that is a yellow card offence. The player has already been cautioned, therefore the referee has decided to caution him again and then send him off. Now, as a referee in that situation, you have 2 options. One, you give the caution correctly under law, and that's correct. 2, you go maverick, don't give the caution, but you're marked down because of it, and you're wrong in law. So that's it. So that's the law. So it's the law of the game. It's not the referee has interpreted that and applied it correctly according to the law. The referee has made the right decision, although incredibly unpopular. And I said myself at the time, I wouldn't have given a yellow myself because I don't think it's right. But that's the law.
See, my thing is, how many times do you see players come like face to face where they are adopting an aggressive manner against each other, and it's just handbags? The ref just like, right, okay, away you go.
Sends them over who we're talking to.
It doesn't have to be every time.
It's that again. That's down to referee interpretation.
But a fan technically encroaches on the field of play, puts their hands on a player, and the player is obviously going to have some reaction to it.
They also reacted very well. I would
argue.
He
didn't. He stepped up to defence, and obviously had a few words with it, and then came away from the situation.
Yeah, he didn't raise his hands at the guy. It didn't look as if he was ever going to go for him.
No, he's been cautioned.
Whilst he actually stepped forward, he was getting stuff thrown at him and getting
so he's been
shouted at by the other side.
He's been cautioned because he's taken the 2 or 3 steps back towards the fan. And
so the fans actually, I'm going to say the fans are shitebag because he came over, pushed him, and then turned around and sort of like buggered off again. Shot out of it.
If you look at similar events to that, obviously when the fan went to attack Tavernier, obviously I think the referee dealt with that a lot better. I think it's obviously using your sort of judgment. Obviously, I think it's
actually shoved the guy up, didn't you?
Obviously, it's extremely difficult being a referee, and I wouldn't really want to wish it on anyone because it's a tough job.
Well, I'll just say one thing: Bobby Madden is finished.
But
I think he's correct in law.
I think you've got to have a wee bit just common sense. Obviously, he's not went there and went, "Oh, there you go, I'm just gonna punch a guy."
If we're directing blame, we need to direct it at the law.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The referee's only following the law.
At the ref. Yeah, I seen that someone made a good point. That is one of the biggest differences anywhere between Scottish referees and elite referees, where elite referees would use their common sense there.
Well, let's bear in mind, Bobby Madden is arguably is one of the top officials in the country. For the start.
Well, yeah, in Scotland, yeah, but
he's also a respected European referee as well.
Hi, who? Rangers fans.
No one respects him.
You know,
Yeah,
I-
no one respects him.
again,
he's wagging his fake mustache
Billy,
on
it's
and
football,
referees
come
the
on.
Rangers games.
Billy, it's football. No one respects the referees.
Yeah, he is obviously like quite a top referee.
you know,
I like
He's
him.
not
Of course,
on
the
elite
Rangers
level.
fans saying that.
If he was on the fully elite level, he would have been at the Euros.
but that's now venturing into debate on European football and refereeing politics, and that's not a debate that anyone wants to listen to.
No,
Well,
that's true.
the basis of it is the fact that the Scottish referees are below par compared to most other countries.
They're not below par. We have.
They
we
are.
have-
Billy,
Anyway,
they are.
it wasn't the only sending off of the game. Did anyone see the other one?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
No.
It's a good one. It's just one of those, again, like you were saying, where players square up to each other. I think there was 3 players all squared up to each other in the pitch, and who was it? Who was the Dundee United player? Butcher.
Yeah.
Callum Butcher decides he's going for a I don't know. He's going for a low blow on Ramirez and gives him a little love tap on the bell end, and well, I think there's only one course of action for the man, and it is a straight red card.
Yeah,
But,
that has to go.
He's got to go for that.
Well, is anyone not thinking it's a red card?
I actually did see someone posted on TikTok or something a video of it, and then went, and then in the comments he was like, "I can't believe he's been sent off for that. Ramirez has gone down like he's been shot."
I mean, I'm watching it just now. I'm watching it again just while we're talking. Ramirez comes in late with a flailing arm, and then he pushes him over, and then Butcher squares up to him, brings the head in, and then there's a wee yep.
It's the arm down to the testicle,
the grab
region.
And no complaints from anybody. So the players don't complain. It's a foul by Ramirez, and then I don't know what. It's a strange one. Usually, if you're reacting in that way, you go for the headbutt, don't you? You would go for the headbutt.
It's one of those ones like Craig was saying that it's one of those ones that's just sort of like the players have a sort of wee word with each other, and he's taken it a bit too far. He's taken it a lot too far, in my opinion.
It's violent conduct.
It's a red every day of the week.
Yep. But Dundee United did come away with a win. 1-0, and Aberdeen's season really isn't getting any easier.
No, they looked like they were getting better for a week. Then they didn't.
Yeah.
Was it not like 2 weeks? I think it was 2 weeks, man.
Did they get 2? Oh, maybe they got 2 actually.
Yeah, they beat Hearts and they drew with Rangers.
Yeah, Hibsed drew with Rangers and Hearts as well. And it was a space of a week though. The 24th
they also
to 30th
beat
October.
Yeah,
so that week period where they had 2 wins and a draw against 3 of the biggest clubs in the country.
Yeah, then they lost to Motherwell and lose to Dundee United.
Yeah,
it's going to be a long season for them. I think.
I don't think they'll stay up.
I don't think there's any question really they're going to stay up. And Ross County are a lot further down. Dundee as well probably going to be struggling.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised Dundee United are doing so well.
Yeah, a little bit, but they've
for
got
so long, really.
Yeah.
I have to say that they are pretty boring to watch. Effective but boring.
Yeah.
But they get points, so
it's Dundee United.
I don't have to watch many Dundee United games in a season, so I'm not overly concerned about how boring or not they are. Just let them get on with it.
Right.
Well, let's go into the big news and not the boring.
The big news.
The big news? The SPFL.
Big news is Dunfermline 3, Ayr United 0.
Was it 3? I thought it was 4.
Yes.
Nah, Bill, we're not that bad. We're only just the
That was the Partick game, Bill.
We just could see lots of goals.
Ayr in the mud.
I presumed it was 4.
It did.
We're still not even close to being bottom. I mean,
it did put
points wise,
yes. Just being bottom, you're 1 point off bottom.
Points wise, yes. Position wise, no.
It did put Dunfermline ahead of Ayr. And I'm telling you, Yogi's come in and their charge for winning the league is on. It's happening. I'm telling you.
I think
they've got to make up the 14-point gap to the next spot.
I think it's probably best to judge Dunfermline when they play a team that don't ship goals for fun.
I absolutely love that league table. I love it.
Well, AR joint top of the second half of the table.
Of the relegation table.
Joint top.
They might as well
just
do a split.
That's what we're cheering for.
Do you get a trophy for that at the end of the season? Though?
Hopefully.
For finishing sixth in the league.
You get a trophy.
No. Dunfermline, by all accounts, were okay. We were Ayr were dreadful. I almost said we. Ayr are dreadful.
So you reckon you're going to sack your manager now?
No,
I don't know.
He's going to get at least till January so they can bring it. I know that he was there when Hopkin was there in the summer, obviously. So some of the signings might have been to do with him as well. But he'll get till January to see what he can do, who he can bring in.
I think what I'm going to do between now and January, I'm going to go to the brand new shiny hub and drown my sorrows every week.
Yeah.
Well, when's it open?
Apparently next week.
Next week?
Or this week, apparently.
Well, yeah, the shop. I've seen the shops
should
open.
Be open for the cup game, apparently.
What cup game?
Is about next Saturday, Scottish Cups.
Yeah.
What?
This Saturday. This Saturday coming.
Saturday coming, yes.
So not next Saturday, this Saturday.
Yes.
It's the next Saturday.
Right, yeah. Anyway.
But I'd take that as being.
You're confused as small brain.
Exciting things to look forward to, such as the games against Hamilton, because they're
I can't wait. I can't wait to go.
It's gonna be like watching 22 drunk folk just run around.
And in the end, Hamilton still.
I thought you were talking about in the hub. I thought it was licensed for more than 22 people.
No, just 22.
I mean, you may as well see at the start of the game. You may as well just go and pick 11 folk out the hub after they've been in there drinking. They would play better.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's maybe borderline a bit harsh in here.
Not here. The
We're going to
first
take our chances on
Hub v Pub.
We're going to take our chances on being Air players by just going to the hub before every game and having a couple
you
of
might
pints.
get caught up.
Duffy will just walk in. Right, I need 4.
Yeah, but I need one to be a goalie.
Goalie's not our.
Goalie's
actually one of our strongest positions.
Matt's gardening gloves
that's because the goalie looks better because of the amount of shots he faces, the amount of shots he gets to save. He must be close to being like the top saver in the league. Just because of the amount of shots we face.
Well, yeah, I suppose the most teams does always go to a team that are shit.
Again, do you get a trophy for that at the end of the season?
We do. When we get our 6th place and top saver trophy.
And best hub in the championship trophy.
Best hub in the championship.
Best hub in League One.
I think every single Air fan in the country would bite your hand off for 6th place at the moment.
100%.
I mean, top saver sounds like you're just going about supermarkets getting the best deals.
I tell you what, maybe that's what we should do. We should just get the players to run around the supermarket.
I tell a lie, actually, we're 8th in the saving list. Hamilton are 8th. Hamilton are top. They have more than double the amount of saves we have.
Is that saves on saving on match day supplies because you're just not buying any pies?
Surprisingly, the Kelly goalkeeper is 2nd. How many shots did Kelly face?
They're also they're less dreadful, but still dreadful.
Yeah, but they're better dreadful. They're just dreadful with a different
dreadful in a different way.
Yeah,
I never mind.
Dreadful in their own way.
Not top. I just misread the fact that I forgot the Morton goalkeeper is Hamilton. So
you're a fucking idiot.
Hamilton are joint with Ayr.
Oh, good, excellent.
But yeah.
Anyway, that's enough about.
What I was trying to get into is the cheating SPFL. Giving Celtic more than half the stadium for the cup final.
So what is the allocation breakdown? Hibs got 17.5.
17.5 and Celtic over 30. I don't think it's been officially announced yet because they've not worked out many comps.
Yeah, I don't see how.
It's purely because they know Celtic will sell those tickets and don't.
Well, yeah, that and also,
Hibs
but if you look at
Hibs,
if you look at Hibs' allocation for the weekend there, they didn't even sell that out, and it was less.
Yeah, but they would sell out a final. You shouldn't. The fact that they didn't sell out a final shouldn't come into account.
Did they sell out the Scottish Cup final when they played Rangers?
Yeah, I mean they sold out. They sold out the League Cup final when they last played in the League Cup final too, not that long ago. Right. They would sell out the final 100%.
No, I think they should also be given the chance to.
But yeah, if you given the chance to, and if they can't sell out with 2 weeks to go, then they give the tickets back.
I did fully expect it to be that way. I expect it to be yes, you can have that allocation, but if it's not sold out, then you have to give tickets back and give them to the other team.
I don't see how they can do it, and like say that's fair. I don't understand that.
Boo. That's what I'd say to that.
I mean, they already let Celtic and Rangers choose the side of Hampden they get when they get there, and which
That's the Celtic end, and it's the Rangers end.
Makes it not so fair for a neutral venue, but
yeah, but that's the Celtic end, Craig.
But it's a neutral venue, so it shouldn't have
Craig, it's the Celtic end.
It's the Celtic end.
Celtic have effectively owned Hampden for the past,
you sound like all the raging Tims in the Twitter.
Fucking wrap you up, Gerrard. Don't fucking talk to me like that.
He pays to talk to.
Sure.
Right, come on. How are we doing in the predictions league?
I'm still strolling.
Same old.
Drew's still top.
Am I closing in on
It's
Craig?
been disabled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Matt's catching Craig.
You gained me by a point, Matt.
Okay.
And you pulled ahead of Ferg by a point.
Okay, I'll take it.
Everyone was shit, so it doesn't really matter.
Who had the most?
Who
had the most?
Was 9.
Yeah, 9 compared to lowest of 5.
9 out of a possible 40, and that's the best.
I tell you what, though, combined, we've almost got 40 between us.
I like how we've done 12 weeks of this, right? And okay, fair enough. Well, Gerrard's got 135, so he's got just over 3 lots of full marks. But Ferg's only 82.
No, but you've got to remember,
Craig. You get full marks twice.
No, but Craig, you've got to remember.
You're 95, mate.
You've got to remember. I had my mind focused on other things. Okay, so instead of this Diddy table, I was out
half the weeks, and you still didn't.
I want to hear what Ferg was out doing.
I was out making big money moves. Okay, and
can we bring a new presenter? And is that your big money move?
winning actual real life bets, and instead of this Diddy, let's guess the scores.
Well, can I have the trophy for most points gained in 1 week?
No.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a new
trophy. It's next
We're just giving out trophies for everything these days.
Biggest saver.
Biggest saver.
Well, that would be you this week for the number of points you saved off yourself.
What?
That was the worst wreck I've ever heard, by the way. That's 100% like.
That's like fucking. Oh, you should have. You don't wear your glasses, and that's what that is.
Bill's been listening to those Twitter space.
It's turned me into an absolute idiot.
If anyone is still listening, you want a 5-a-side podcast Twitter space, just let us know.
Oh God, no!
Do tag us. We will do one if you want us to do one.
Love it. A live debate. If you want to debate with the boys,
Well, we do a referee debate.
Tell us your best
shouted
joke.
that.
No, Billy's just gonna request himself to join all the other Twitter spaces now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Let's get into this week's predictions then.
Yeah, I looked at it before, and this game wasn't here, but apparently Leverkusen Celtic's our first one, Craig.
Yeah. Someone might have forgot about the European games when they set up the first ones. So
that's really good, Craig.
But I'm going to go for a surprising 1-0 Celtic victory.
I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go for Leverkusen 3, Celtic 1.
I'm going to say Bayer Leverkusen 4, Celtic 1.
Oh, 1. He's angry.
That was just
good. Score draw 1-0. What do I take?
I don't know. Leverkusen are a very good side, and I don't really expect us to take anything from them away from home.
So Ferg's only going for the 5-0 this week.
So, nah.
A very good side. So just 5-0 to Celtic.
They are good though. I'll go 2-1 Leverkusen. Not happy about it.
You can't predict against
I
your own
wonder
team.
if anyone wants to check back the predictions and see if that's the first time Ferg's predicted a Celtic loss.
100% is. I don't even have to check back.
Yeah. Right. Next game.
No, I'm checking back.
Was it the Rangers game?
It is. The next game
Yeah, it
is
is the Rangers game.
Rangers versus Sparta Prague. They made fun of Celtic for losing to the Plumbers last season. And I think Rangers will lose to the Plumbers this season. With a 2-0 loss.
What?
Remember
Did you just say they made fun of Rangers for losing to the Plumbers?
They made fun of Celtic for losing to
No,
the Plumbers
you said
last
Rangers,
season.
mate.
Oh, we lost to the Plumbers, remember?
Oh, we got
Yeah, that's what I
annihilated by
said.
the Plumbers.
Yeah.
4-0 and 4-0.
Cheers, look at the posters of it on his wall.
The good old
That's why I
days.
remember it so vividly. Back in the good old days when Big Steve was there.
That one banter year, that was good times.
Okay, I've just checked. I've never predicted Celtic to lose.
So, like I said, 2-0 to Sparta Prague.
Cool.
I'm just going to change my prediction to 2-1 Celtic. The same as I predicted for the last Celtic Leverkusen game, I think.
But Billy has appeared to mute himself.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. I don't know what happened there. I'm going to go for. Well, as I was saying, I thought, well, Gio's not going to be happy, but he's not going to be sad either. I'm going to go score draw 1-1.
Oh, he's gonna go. Oh, you're copying me, but I'm also gonna say 1-1.
Oh, okay.
Right, Matt, how many nil to Sparta?
I think. Where is it?
Rangers.
2-1 Sparta Prague.
3-1 Sparta Prague. Next up, obviously, big games on this weekend, so we'll kick you off. Local for us, it's Auchinleck Talbot v Hamilton.
Yeah. I'm going to go for 2-0 to Hamilton Ackies.
It had us going there.
I'm going to go for 2-1 to Auchinleck. This is the cup set.
I'm gonna say 1-0 to Hamilton.
Well, this one's dedicated to Robert, who I work with, who is a die-hard Talbot fan and is sick at the moment. So I know he's listening, and I think Hamilton will win 2-0.
Take care, Robert.
Take care, Robert.
Hope he's feeling better, but you know what would make me feel better if you put your toes off the camera, please. No, off the camera.
Matt has 6 toes for those listening.
I'm gonna go
just like your classic Celtic fan then.
Yeah. I'm gonna go score draw 1 each. Next up, Queen's Park take on Kelly.
You know, I didn't actually realise until I checked at the weekend how bad Queen's Park are now. They've really went downhill. And I have just seen Ferg score for this game. I'm going to go for a 2-1 to Queen's Park.
Well, Marie Osmond will be shining down on Kelly. She's not dead, but she'll be shining down on Kelly, and a glorious tune of Paper Roses will be playing out at Lesser Hampden at the end of the game, with Kilmarnock winning 2-1.
I'm going to go 4-0 to Kilmarnock.
I'm going to go with 2-0 Kelly.
I'm just going for the small score line of 17-0 Queen's Park.
And you wonder why he's so bad.
If that comes up, Ferg, I'll give you.
To be fair, he's probably going to get the same
£100.
amount of points as me for that game.
I'll give you £100 if that comes up, Ferg.
Yeah, Craig's got 100 grand.
I said £100, but yeah, I'll give you 100 grand if it comes up.
Sky Bet will give
I'm
you
taking
more.
the 100 grand. I'm taking 100 grand.
I thought Sky Bet will give you more.
2 minutes, I'll just DM Kelly and ask him to lose 17-0 at the weekend. Match fixing.
You tell us what the game is next.
Yeah, sorry. Next up, Twitter Spaces famous Alloa take on Bonnie Rig Rose.
But they're going to use that inspiration they got from joining the Scottish Football Twitter Spaces last night, and they're going to win 3-0.
Yeah, I think Alloa will just be too strong for the Rose. I'm going to go 2-0 to Alloa.
I'm going to say 1-0 Alloa.
3-0 Alloa.
4-0 Alloa, yeah. big scorelines this week. Next up, who is it? Clydebank v Clyde. You know,
the Clyde derby.
Oh,
And it's going to be the most boring game you've ever seen. 0-0.
I think there'll be a few cherries in this game. That's obviously not a score prediction, but that's a cherry prediction. But I'm going to go for score draw 1-1. Make the long journey back to Clyde.
from Clyde.
For the replay. Yeah.
I'm going to say 1-0 to Clyde.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 Clyde.
No one likes Clyde, so 2-1 Clydebank.
First going with the cup set. The Giants of Clyde will be slayed.
Mm-hmm. By the minnows of Clydebank.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Ayr take on Albion Rovers.
How many nil?
It's going to be 1-0 to Albion Rovers.
What?
Even I've got them beaten off.
Poor show, Craig.
Just Billy.
That is
Go
horrendous.
I'm going for the points. I'm
That's
trying to.
I'm going to go
I
for.
don't care about sentiment anymore.
I'm going to go for score draw 1-1.
I'm going to say 2-0 Ayr.
Yeah, I'm going to just completely agree with you. I think 2-0 Ayr.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 Ayr.
So it's the non-Ayr fans that think Ayr are going to win that
The
game.
people that don't watch them every week.
Yeah, true.
Because Billy's a big fan. He watches them every
I'm
week.
always there.
Definitely
Fine.
never miss
That's
it.
a game.
Finally,
It's Bloodline.
Brecon take on Darvel.
This is the
Which is
easiest one
upset.
ever. Yeah, Darvel with a 3-1 victory against Brecon. I don't even know if it is a cup set.
4-0 Darvel.
I think Darvel will do a cup set 1-0 Darvel.
Even a cup
Again,
set.
I
don't
wouldn't
even
call
know
it
if
a
it's
cup set.
To
They're
be fair,
doing
it's
it
not
right
really.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0 Darvel.
I'm gonna go 2-2. You know, Darvel are gonna feel sorry for Brecon and just let them score 2. So there you go. That's all for
that game is on the telly on the Monday night though. If people want to watch it,
I'll be
the big
watching.
game of Brecon versus Darvel.
I'll be watching.
Really?
Yeah, on BBC Scotland it is. You know,
yeah,
BBC Scotland coming out for the big games.
that's us. Again, yeah, I will be back same time next week, hopefully. And I can see Matt's eager to leave because he wants his dinner, so I'll let him say goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Billy, you can say goodbye as well.
Ciao.
Craig.
Goodbye.
Notice that Craig's made himself look different from Billy by buttoning his button up on his shirt. He felt embarrassed that he came in and they were wearing the same shirt.
Colour coordinated.
And finally, Jur, who's been anxious to leave and wanted us to be snappy, but we have been an hour.
And his gym jams.
I'm in my
Gym
gym jams.
Let him say goodbye.
As always, thanks for listening. Hopefully next week we'll find out who the saver of the year is. For now, keep safe and God bless. Steal your line,
safe.
dickhead.
I don't know how I have my dickhead here, but yeah. Yeah, well, next week would be too early to know who saver of the year is. Could wait a few more weeks for that. But anyway, thanks for watching this far, to all you viewers, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Good night and God bless.
Mm-hmm.